देखो इस मुद्दे पे चर्चा हुई है कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली में भी।
और द जजेस नो द बेस्ट, सो दे डोंट वांट कि कोई इंटरफेयर करे इस मैटर में।
जब जस्टिस टी.एस. ठाकुर थे चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया, he could not get one appointment through during his entire tenure. Why?
So do you think कि हमें अभी अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ जजेस में के प्रोसेस में थोड़े चेंजेस लाने की जरूरत है?
In my opinion, there has to be changes.
कमिंग टू द बेल ऑल्सो, लाइक ऐसे तो जेल में ऑलरेडी इतने अंडर ट्रायल प्रिजनर्स भी हैं जो बेल नहीं मिली है और लीगल एड भी नहीं है, फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी भी नहीं है ताकि वो हाई कोर्ट एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट पहुंच पाए। तो इसके लिए भी जुडिशरी कोई स्टेप क्यों नहीं ले रही?
आप जो कह रहे हैं बिल्कुल सही है। वी नो हाउ द पुलिस फंक्शंस, और कई लोगों के पास इस देश में वकीलों के पैसे देने के लिए और उनके केसेस लाने के लिए भी नहीं है। सी वी आर अ पुअर कंट्री।
The New Indians presents Law and Justice by Vedic Legal in association with Vedic Legal and Company and the Senate of Jurists.
नमस्कार, मैं हूं ऐश्वर्या बख्शी और आप देख रहे हैं द न्यू इंडियंस। और आज हम बात करने जा रहे हैं इंडियन जुडिशियल मैकेनिज्म पे। तो इसी पे बात करने के लिए आज हमारे साथ मौजूद है देश की एक जानी मानी हस्ती, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के सीनियर एडवोकेट मिस्टर संतोष पॉल। सर, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका।
थैंक यू सो मच फॉर इनवाइटिंग मी टू योर शो।
राइट सर। सो सर, आपने जुडिशियल अपॉइंटमेंट्स पे अलग से एक इतनी अच्छी किताब लिख रखी है एंड अभी देश का एक सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा ही है जुडिशियल डिलेज, जिसकी वजह है बैकलॉग केसेस, पुलिस इंटरफेरेंस एंड लॉ एनफोर्समेंट के भी कुछ करप्शंस। तो लाइक व्हाट इज योर मॉडर्न विजन टू इम्प्रोवाइज एंड ट्रांसफॉर्म द इंडियन जुडिशरी?
Now that's a big question to ask at the very beginning of the show, because see, there is the issue of appointments of judiciary. No? I would be confined to that because once that process becomes transparent, accountable, and independent, many of the other problems should resolve on its own. So what is required is an independence of the judiciary must be secured.
Okay.
That is most important. That ensures human liberties are respected and constitutional liberties are made, what do you call, workable. But if the independence of judiciary is at stake, then all your constitutional guarantees, including the right to a faster remedy, etc., everything becomes jeopardized.
So like कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के साइड से सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर देने के बावजूद भी एग्जीक्यूटिव मैटर्स में जुडिशियल इंटरफेरेंस होता है एंड वाइस वर्सा। So don't you think it's compromising democracy somewhere?
See, I'll tell you, there is this notion. There are two aspects which you now the question which you're asking has two aspects to it. One is the aspect of executive interference in the judiciary. And the second thing which you are trying to tell me is there is a judicial interference in the sphere of the executive. Now, I will just clarify this position. The executive interference with the judiciary is unacceptable. In fact, if you read the Constituent Assembly debates, it's clear that what if I go back to the words of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he said we wanted the ablest and the best of people, the most independent of minds, to man the judiciary, because that is a check on the executive, that's a check on the legislature, and that is the bulwark which prevents an encroachment of the executive and legislature as far as constitutional rights of the citizens are concerned. That is one aspect. The second aspect is judicial interference in matters executive. Now, this is something which I would like to elaborate a little bit. Now, why do people go to the judiciary? Why did they, people go to the courts when it came to encroachment of forests, when it came to mining mafias, when it came to bonded labor, when it came to various financial scams? Why did people go to the judiciary? It is because the executive failed to act. That is when the judiciary had to step in. For instance, the governors abusing powers, which is going on even today on a rampant scale. It has become the duty of the judiciary to tell the governors that, listen, you have a constitutional mandate to act fairly and fairly because you are not a part of the government. So the judiciary necessarily steps in where the legislature fails and where the executive fails. So that I do not consider as trampling upon a sphere of operation of the executive or of the legislature.
Okay. So sir, like 2014 NJSC का जब एक क्या कहते हैं एग्जीक्यूटिव के साइड से पॉइंट रखा गया था कि जिसमें गवर्नमेंट का भी इंटरफेरेंस हो अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ जजेस को, लेकिन उसी वक्त सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इसे अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बता के इसे क्रॉस कर दिया कि नहीं, जजेस अपॉइंटमेंट would be done by from the judges only. There will be no interference from the executive. But how? This is actually, according to this is actually correct or not?
देखो, इस मुद्दे पे चर्चा हुई है कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली में भी. इसमें सबसे बड़ी बात कहा था हमारे बाबा साहब अंबेडकर साहब ने कि एक चीफ जस्टिस भी एक मनुष्य होता है, उनकी लिमिटेशंस होती है, उनकी प्रेजुडिसेस होती है, और इस वजह से उनको वो पूरी पावर देना अपॉइंटमेंट्स का वो सही नहीं है. पर क्या हुआ, एसपी गुप्ता जो की केस जो है ये 1981 में हुआ था, उसमें ये क्वेश्चन आ गया कि ये जो कंसल्टेशन विद द चीफ जस्टिस, इज इट कंकरेंस विद द चीफ जस्टिस? एक तो चर्चा करना और दूसरा फैसला लेना, ये दो चीज अलग है. तो ये चीफ जस्टिस को ये अल्टीमेट फैसला करने का अधिकार है या नहीं, ये क्वेश्चन मुद्दा उठ गया. और एसपी गुप्ता में ये हो गई कि तय निर्णय ये हुआ था कि द अल्टीमेट पावर लाइज विद द एग्जीक्यूटिव.
Okay.
You are only a consultant in the mechanics of appointment of judges. उसके बाद हुआ लगभग 20 साल चले गए, and there was a serious problem of independence of the judiciary that 20 years. It is then जो second judges case जो कहते हैं, उसकी decision आ गई, that is called SC Advocates on Record. उसमें ये फैसला हुआ, देखो यस ये कंसल्टेशन विच जो लिखा है, जो शब्द ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में, वो कंसल्टेशन मीन्स कंकरेंस ऑफ द चीफ जस्टिस. उसमें लॉ मिनिस्टर की जो इश्यूज है, उनकी जो व्यूज है, सर्टेनली विल बी कंसिडर्ड, बट द अल्टीमेट डिसीजन इट वाज इन द होप दैट इट विल बिकम एन इंडिपेंडेंट जुडिशरी. उसके बाद तीसरा जजमेंट आ गया, which is called the special reference in 1998. उसमें ये इशू हुआ, अगर 3 जजेस डिसाइड करेंगे, वही जो डॉक्टर अंबेडकर साहब ने कहा कि 3 लोग इतने बड़े इश्यू को संभाल पाएंगे या नहीं, उनके प्रेजुडिसेस उसके अंदर घुसेंगे या नहीं. तो ये निर्णय हुआ कि 5 जजेस, चीफ जस्टिस एंड 4 अदर जजेस ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट विल टेक द डिसीजन. इसमें एक सीरियस मुद्दा जो उठा है कि ये जो वाइडर कंसल्टेटिव मैकेनिज्म हो रहा है या नहीं, इन as far as judicial appointments is concerned. तो this was the issue which cropped up, and जो यूपीए की गवर्नमेंट थी, उन्होंने पहले एनजेसी एक्ट ले आए. इसमें हमारे एक सीरियस, क्योंकि हम लोग वो लिटिगेशन में थे, एक सीरियस मुद्दा ये था कि you are virtually saying this is like the Judicial Appointments Commission of UK. Judicial Appointments of UK में एक बड़ी कंसल्टेटिव मैकेनिज्म है, पर उसमें एक चीज मिसिंग है, वो है कि पॉलिटिक्स एंड पॉलिटिशियंस आर आउट ऑफ Judicial Appointments Commission of United Kingdom.
Okay.
इनफैक्ट जो उनके चेयरमैन होते हैं, he or she is not even a judge. बैरोनेस उषा प्राशर, जो इंडियन ओरिजिन के थे, जुडिशियल अपॉइंटमेंट्स कमीशन यूके की फर्स्ट चेयरपर्सन थे. तो उसमें क्या है कि पॉलिटिक्स हैव टू गो आउट, बिकॉज क्योंकि नहीं तो एक इम्पार्शियलिटी की सीरियस मुद्दा उठ जाती है उस पर. तो इस वजह से हमने चैलेंज किया, क्योंकि वो जो उस टाइम तो यूपीए का तो इट डिडंट कम टू द बी चैलेंज इन द कोर्ट, बट व्हेन द एनडीए गवर्नमेंट केम, उनका जो नेशनल जुडिशियल अपॉइंटमेंट्स कमीशन एक्ट जो थी, दैट वाज चैलेंज्ड. व्हाई? बिकॉज इट सेड चीफ जस्टिस, 2 सीनियर जजेस, 2 independent people and the law minister.
Independent people as in jury?
Independent people means ये क्वेश्चन जो ये मुकदमा जो लड़ी है सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, ये क्वेश्चन उठ गया है कि ये इंडिपेंडेंट, ये कौन है ये जो इंडिपेंडेंट पर्सन है. You won't believe the government had no answer to that question. They said 2 things. which I think is completely wrong. One, they said people like Amartya Sen or people like Bill Gates. Amartya Sen, yes, he can be considered an independent person. But let's take the case of Bill Gates, who has litigation. उनका जो सारे मुकदमे पूरे देश में चल रहा होगा, he will have a decisive say in appointments of judges? Certainly not. So ये जो and the balance tilting in favor of the executive, क्योंकि इनको जो two eminent persons जो appoint और वो कमीशन में बैठेंगे, वो कौन है, उनका क्या क्वालिफिकेशन रहेगा, उनका क्या इंडिपेंडेंस रहेगा, उसमें वो सिर्फ गवर्नमेंट के लोग होंगे, ये सब सीरियस मुद्दे हैं, बिकॉज इट इज चैलेंजिंग द क्वेश्चन एंड इट इज आस्किंग अस द क्वेश्चन, विल दैट बॉडी बी politically neutral? Unfortunately, it is not politically neutral. It is an encroachment as far as the judiciary is concerned, क्योंकि एक जज के क्वालिफिकेशंस, उनकी इंडिपेंडेंस, उनके कमिटमेंट टू द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कौन जज कर पाएगा? यस, पॉलिटिशियंस भी जज कर पाएंगे, द ऑर्डिनरी पर्सन्स ऑल्सो कैन जज इट, बट देयर शुड बी अ डेफिनेट से फॉर द जुडिशरी. इसलिए हम वी चैलेंज दैट एक्ट एंड उसको स्ट्राइक डाउन किया गया. इन माई ओपिनियन दैट वॉज ए फेयरली गुड जजमेंट, बिकॉज उसमें बहुत सारे मुद्दे उठे कि यू नो देयर हैज टू बी अ वाइडर कंसल्टेटिव मैकेनिज्म, ये सब. बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली ये जो पोस्ट एनजेएसी है, द पोजिशन इज नॉट वर्कड सेटिस्फैक्टरीली. मैं बता रहा हूँ, 3 जज जो यहाँ आनी थी सुप्रीम कोर्ट में. One is Justice Qureshi.
Okay.
He was not brought here. Why? Because he was an independent judge. Justice Rajiv Shakhtar was not brought here. Why? He was an independent judge. Why was Justice Muralidhar not brought to Supreme Court? He was an independent judge.
So who is considered as an independent judge?
An independent judge would be, in my opinion, who is politically neutral and committed to the Constitution. That, in my opinion, is what a judge should be. That was the opinion of, क्योंकि हम जो स्वतंत्रता की लड़ाई लड़ी, ये जो सारे जो नेता हमारे थे देश के, जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली में बैठे थे, ये सारे एक कॉलोनियल पावर के खिलाफ लड़े और एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, एक संविधान बनाए हमारे लिए. वो संविधान ये गारंटी दिया है कि आपका लाइफ एंड लिबर्टी कैन ओनली बी टेकन अवे बाय ड्यू प्रोसेस ऑफ लॉ. हाँ, आपके प्रॉपर्टी नहीं छीना जाएगा, आपका बेसिक ह्यूमन राइट्स दिए जाएंगे, ये सब. वाई? बिकॉज एक कॉलोनियल पावर ये सारे राइट्स इस देशवासियों को डिनाई किया गया है 200 साल. दे न्यू दैट अगर ये संविधान रहना है, उनकी गारंटीज मीनिंगफुल रहना है लोगों के लिए, तो एक इंडिपेंडेंट जुडिशरी की आवश्यकता है. और वो पॉलिटिकली ज़रूर न्यूट्रल होना चाहिए, क्योंकि जब अंग्रेज यहाँ शासन कर रहे थे, कोई न्यूट्रलिटी नहीं थी. वेयर इज द न्यूट्रलिटी ऑफ जजेस? वेयर वॉज द न्यूट्रलिटी ऑफ जजेस व्हेन महात्मा गांधी वॉज ब्रॉट टू ट्रायल और व्हेन पंडित नेहरू वॉज ब्रॉट टू ट्रायल? वॉज देयर अ न्यूट्रलिटी? देयर वाज सर्टेनली नो न्यूट्रलिटी. इनफैक्ट एक मुद्दा उठ गई. There was a very eminent ICS bureaucrat, Chetur Shankaran Nair from Kerala. उन्होंने वो ट्राइब्यूनल में, वो जलियनवाला बाग की मैसेकर की वो ट्राइब्यूनल कॉन्स्टिट्यूट किया गया, और उन्होंने ही रोट अ डिसेंट. ही वाज अगेंस्ट व्हाट इट वाज गोइंग ऑन, एंड उसके बाद एक किताब उन्होंने लिखी. वो किताब में ही अक्यूज्ड जनरल डायर of gross misconduct and of virtually a genocide which he committed. And उसके खिलाफ एक defamation case डाला गया यूके में, और उन जमाने में 7,500 पाउंड्स की एक फाइन एक ब्रिटिश जज ने चेतुर शंकर नायर के ऊपर दिया, एक फैसला दी थी. एंड Chetu Shankar Narayan, being what he was, he paid 7,000, which is running into I don't know how many scores of crores. He paid the fine rather than apologize. So there was no neutrality, and that neutrality could be guaranteed only if the judges are independent. And if the judges are not independent, then it cannot be a protection of the rights of the citizenry as far as their constitutional rights are concerned.
सर जैसे आपने बताया ये 3 जजेस के बाद में
Yeah.
इंडिपेंडेंट जजेस,
Yes.
सो क्या बाकी जजेस एक तरीके से एक स्टेटमेंट को कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट कर रहा है कि बाकी जजेस क्या पॉलिटिकल प्रेशर के अंडर में भी काम करते हैं?
नहीं, सी देखो, टू पुट इट लाइक दिस, लेट मी पुट इट इन दिस वे. They were the finest of judges. There are several eminent judges in this country, finest of judges. But what disqualified them from coming to the Supreme Court? I'm putting the reverse proposition to you. What was the disqualification of Justice Qureshi? What was the disqualification of Justice Muralidhar? What was the disqualification of Justice Rajiv Shankar? What was the disqualification? They wrote judgments protecting the constitutional rights of the citizens. Was that the disqualification? I want to know. The people want to know. Everybody wants to know why such good judges were not brought here. So it's not a question of whether the other judges are independent, not independent, qualified, disqualified. No, the best of judges. You chose not to bring them in. Justice Qureshi's name was in the recommendation of the collegium. The day Justice Rohinton Nariman retired, his name was dropped. Why? It's a serious question. Why a collegium which thought Justice Qureshi to be absolutely, eminently, deserving of a position in the Supreme Court, why overnight on the retirement of a judge, his name is dropped? It's a serious question.
तो सर ये तो एक तरीके से कॉलेजियन सिस्टम के लैक ऑफ ट्रांसपेरेंसी को शो कर रहा है, और द जजेस नो द बेस्ट, सो दे डोंट वांट कि कोई इंटरफेयर करे इस मैटर में.
I will put it this way. Is there a difficulty? I remember जब Justice T.S. Thakur थे, Chief Justice of India, he could not get one appointment through during his entire tenure. Why? Why could he not get one appointment through? Because recommendations have gone from the collegium and they are sitting over the files. ये मुद्दा उठ भी गया है on several litigations which are pending in the Supreme Court कि when the collegium is recommending, as per the NJSC, as per first judge's case, second judge's case and NGSC case, what ये है कि when the collegium recommends, तो वो recommendation या हाँ या ना, अगर ना बोले तो क्यों ना बोल रहे हैं गवर्नमेंट, ये बताना चाहिए. और वो जो ना की reason है, collegium will assess it, and then if they still recommend his name, then the government is duty bound to appoint.
Okay.
But that is not happening.
But
What they are doing is they are simply sitting over. So the entire appointments is blocked.
So same didn't happen with all the मतलब that three
No,
judges
as far as Justice Muralidhar and Shakdar, that's not the case. But as far as Qureshi is concerned, Justice Qureshi is concerned, this was the case.
Okay.
And his name suddenly gets dropped because one judge from the collegium retires and a new collegium comes into being and his name is dropped. What was the reason for you to drop his name? Which by and large, if you look, you ask the bar in Gujarat, you ask the bar in Bombay, where he served, and the other high courts, there is a unanimous opinion of the bar that he was an eminent and deserving judge.
So do you think कि हमें अभी appointment of judges में के process में थोड़े changes लाने की ज़रूरत है?
Yes, there has to be in my opinion, there has to be changes. But let me be very categoric. When I say changes, it is not changes to induct politics into the appointment process. Changes to bring politicians into the appointment process. No, I'm not for it. Because there has to be neutrality. I'm told, I'm not very quite clear, but in some of the European democracies, अगर एक judge को appoint करने हैं, तो the parliament has to have 2/3 approval. So it doesn't mean that the majority decides. He must have the approval even of the opposition. When you say 2/3 or 3/4, you need the opposition also to have faith in that judge. Maybe some such mechanism will have to be drawn. And that is one aspect. The other thing is the politicians taking the power and saying we are accountable to the legislature, we are accountable to the parliament is not an answer.
But in the collegian system, there should be like no interference of the executive already, right?
No, there should be no interference of the executive, but I will tell you, Justice Sen of Madras High Court, he was a Chief Justice of Madras High Court, which is a 75-judge High Court, and he was transferred to one of the northeastern states, which is 3 or 4 or 5 judges, Of course, you say high courts are the same, but it was a punishment. Whether you like it or not, it's a punishment. So you cannot say that that what was done to him was fair. What was done to him was, what do you call,
Biased.
was in any manner constitutional, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was constitutional.
So, but sir, एक human nature ही होता है, like when you have the power, you don't want to give up. So, like same goes with the judges also. They don't want any kind of interference, or they don't want to give their power to, like choosing the judges.
See, the power will have to be ultimately be exercised by a body. See, the power to appoint judges, like any other power, will have to be exercised by a body. एक कमेटी होगी या एक बॉडी ऑफ पर्सन्स होंगे, तो उनको ये जिम्मेदारी उनके ऊपर आएगा कि you will have to take this decision. Now the question is, how do we ensure that this decision has some kind of checks and balances? It's a complex task. जैसे यूके में है, there is a permanent judicial appointments commission.
Okay.
उसमें there is one judge of the House of Lords. I mean, now the Supreme Court of UK, one judge of the High Court, one judge of the other the appellate judiciary, and even a magistrate. So 5 people are there, and the chairperson is a lay person.
Okay.
And the law minister जो UK में बहुत सारे अब्यूज हुए थे, क्योंकि एक लॉ मिनिस्टर थे, उन 17 साल उन्होंने, ही वॉज द लॉ मिनिस्टर, उन्होंने सिर्फ अपने पार्टी लोगों के लिए, ब्यूरोक्रेट्स के रिलेटिव्स को, इट वॉज अ ग्रॉस अब्यूज. इसलिए 2005 की कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अमेंडमेंट हुई व्हेन टोनी ब्लेयर वाज द प्राइम मिनिस्टर, एंड he took away the power of the law minister, because he was virtually the whole and soul as far as appointments are concerned. And they created this body. And let me, मैं थोड़ा इसमें I would like to be really frank.
Okay.
There are judicial appointments commission Canada में, in many other countries also. But where it is working fairly properly, सिर्फ United Kingdom में है. नहीं तो कनाडा में देयर आर लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स, इन साउथ अफ्रीका बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. तो ये एक फूल प्रूफ मैकेनिज्म नहीं है. एक जुडिशल अपॉइंटमेंट्स कमीशन क्रिएट किए, वो इंडिपेंडेंट हो गई पॉलिटिक्स से, और उसमें अपॉइंटमेंट्स में इज देयर व्हाट यू कॉल फेयरनेस, वो गारंटी नहीं देती है. बट वी विल हैव टू गो ऑन इवॉल्विंग अ प्रोसेस, बट दिस विल रिक्वायर ए सीरियस डिबेट with the parliament, with the civil society. ये नहीं कि सरकार ने कुछ कानून लाए, ये लागू कर दो, वो लागू कर दो. No, not that way. It has to be a wider consultative mechanism which would include the people of this country and the civil society in this country. And we will have to work out some solution. Abhi, I will give you the example that the one student who was arrested, it's 5 years. His bail is not heard. It is a critical collapse of judicial, what do you call, responsibility. क्योंकि personal liberty is paramount in any democracy. A student is kept behind bars for 5 years. His matters are not heard. Matters gets adjourned. ये सब, it is unthinkable. These are things which happen in totalitarian countries. It cannot be happening in a constitutional democracy, in my opinion.
Sir, coming to the bail also, like ऐसे तो जेल में ऑलरेडी इतने अंडर ट्रायल प्रिजनर्स भी हैं जो बेल नहीं मिली है, लीगल एड भी नहीं है, फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी भी नहीं है, ताकि वो हाई कोर्ट एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट पहुंच पाए. तो इसके लिए भी जुडिशरी कोई स्टेप क्यों नहीं ले रही है?
आप जो कह रहे हैं बिल्कुल सही है. क्योंकि we know how the police functions in many parts of this country. एक बार एक FIR दर्ज हुआ, एक चार्जशीट फाइल किए, फिर फॉर अ पर्सन इफ द चार्जेस लेवल्ड आर grave, without looking into the materials, the person may languish in jail for years and years, and वो तो हो रही है. और कई लोगों के पास इस देश में वकीलों की पैसे देने के लिए और उनके केसेस लाने के लिए भी नहीं है. सी वी आर अ पुअर कंट्री, वी हैव टू अज्यूम. इसमें एक चीज है कि ये बार also should take a responsibility. Bar ये नहीं कि it is only a question कि where money is there, then the lawyer will go. No, there has to be 15, 20, 30% even pro bono cases, especially as far as human liberty is concerned. Every lawyer should be made to do it, in my opinion, because it's a question of human liberty, because with human liberty वो होती है फाउंडेशन एक संवैधानिक शासन के लिए. हाँ, और उसका जिम्मेवारी सिर्फ जुडिशरी की नहीं, बार का भी है. एंड और बार वो काम करना पड़ेगा, वो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेनी पड़ेगी. बार एसोसिएशंस एंड द बार काउंसिल आल्सो विल हैव टू टेक दिस डिसीजन इन माय.
ओके, सो सर जुडिशरी के साइड से एक ऐसा स्टेप क्यों नहीं लिया जाता कि कोई भी एक केस हो उसे इतने दिनों में एक टाइम ड्यूरेशन सेट किया जाए कि इतने दिनों में उस केस को सॉल्व कर लिया जाए. अपार्ट फ्रॉम लैंड एंड प्रॉपर्टी मैटर्स वो तो 20-20 साल चलते हैं, मगर कुछ ऐसे जैसे आरजीकर का ही केस ले लीजिए, इसमें भी 6 महीने में सेशन कोर्ट ने वर्डिक्ट दे दिया कि लाइफ इम्प्रिजनमेंट, जस्ट बिकॉज उसे रेयरेस्ट ऑफ द रेयर कंसिडर नहीं किया गया. मतलब इतने सीरियस मैटर को आपने 6 महीने में मतलब लाइफ इम्प्रिजनमेंट दे दी. लेकिन कुछ अलग अलग ऐसे भी और मैटर्स होता है जिसमें 8-10 साल 15-20 साल चल जाता है, तो इस पे क्यों नहीं स्टेप लिया जाता है?
मैं इसकी एक मैं एक बार शिकागो में एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट में मैं जाके बैठ के देख रहा था प्रोसीडिंग्स. तो वो जज को समझ में आ गया कि ही इज नॉट अ बाईस्टैंडर, ही इज कीनली वॉचिंग क्या हो रहा है. तो मुझे बुलाया, आप कौन है? मैं बोला मैं एक वकील हूँ इंडिया से. तो उन्होंने बोला आपका क्या विचार है इधर जो हो रही है. मैंने ये बताया कि जो प्रॉब्लम्स दिख रहे हैं लोगों के, वो हमारे तरफ से रेंट कंट्रोल मैटर है, मैट्रिमोनियल मैटर है, कुछ पिल्फरेज है, थेफ्ट है, ये है वो सब के प्रॉब्लम्स एक ही है. कोई चार्ज किया गया क्राइम को, जो यहाँ है वो वहाँ भी है, पर एक ही डिफरेंस है. आपके पास जो 25 केस है इंडिया में, वो जज जो ट्रायल देख रहे हैं उनके पास 100 नहीं तो उससे ज़्यादा केसेस है. तो वो जज थोड़ा चौंक गया कि इज इट पॉसिबल? आई सेड यस, द वर्कलोड इज ऑलमोस्ट 4 to 5 times of what you have. This is a serious problem because the population to judge ratio हमारे देश में बहुत कम है. Maybe because we have financial constraints. We have financial constraints to keep a massive judiciary.
But we are having vacancy in Allahabad High Court, sir.
That is precisely what I'm saying.
Seat is not getting filled.
Why is it not getting filled? See, in UK Parliament में every year एक report जाती है. The functioning of the judiciary, appointments पूरा fill up हुआ या नहीं. दूसरा, लेडीज का रिप्रेजेंटेशन एडिक्वेट है या नहीं.
ओके.
माइनॉरिटीज के रिप्रेजेंटेशन इन जुडिशरी कितने हैं, क्यों कम है? दे कैन नॉट बी गिवन प्रॉपर रिप्रेजेंटेशन. एवरी ईयर देयर इज अ रिपोर्ट टू द पार्लियामेंट. इट्स अ स्टडी, इट्स अ कांस्टेंट स्टडी, क्योंकि एक देश चलाने में वी हैव टू सीरियसली थिंक दैट दीज इश्यूज विल हैव टू बी ब्रॉट टू द फोर. इट हैज टू बी डिस्कस्ड इन पार्लियामेंट एंड वी हैव टू फाइंड सॉल्यूशंस. क्यों इलाहाबाद में वैकेंसीज है? दिस शुड बी इन द पार्लियामेंट. दिस क्वेश्चन शुड कम बाय अ रिपोर्ट टू द पार्लियामेंट दैट दिस व्हाई इज दिस नॉट हैपनिंग, जैसे यूके में होती है. व्हाई women are represented, why women's representation is so low in the judiciary. In fact यूके में जब देखा गया कि women's representation is less, ये पूछताछ हुई कि women क्यों जज नहीं बन रहे. That question arose. तो ये बात हुई कि when women get married, they have children, then there is a break in service. Then the judicial committee suggested कि they should be entitled to a maternity leave and they should have creches, they should have other facilities so that they are able to continue in the profession. So that more women are in the profession of law, then the chances of greater representation of women are there. इसमें सीरियस चर्चा होती है, पर आप हमारे टीवी में देखो कोई चर्चा होती है कि whether any serious matter is it being discussed. See, we have to seriously think how we are conducting ourselves in a democracy. If you look at the mainstream media, what is it that you're watching on television? Are these matters being talked about? The other day, one of the judges of the Supreme Court, उन्होंने एक चीज, he raised a very pertinent question. रोज ये होती है, commercial litigation, there is a delay, this, that. He said, forget commercial litigation. एक परिवार में किसी की मृत्यु हो गई, फिर सक्सेशन सर्टिफिकेट लेनी है, प्रोबेट करनी है, वो प्रोबेट सक्सेशन सर्टिफिकेट सालों चलती है, somebody's assets are blocked. ये भी एक मुद्दा है, एंड दीज आर सीरियस ऑर्डिनरी आम आदमी की प्रॉब्लम्स है कि एक प्रोबेट लेना, एक सक्सेशन सर्टिफिकेट लेना. तो अगर ये नहीं हो रही है और इसके लिए सालों लग रही है, there has to be solution, and for solutions we have to discuss it seriously. There has to be proper studies conducted. तो हम जो आप जो कर रहे हैं, that's a great thing, because these things have to be, you have to have viewpoints of several lawyers. You have to have the viewpoints of the lawmakers. You should have the viewpoints of the ordinary people, and we have to work out a solution. You're right, absolutely.
But sir, you have mentioned financial strain है हमारी government के पास.
Yeah.
But sir, their government is actually paying for so many things,
Yes.
changing name of the states and everything, making statues of different idols. So why are they not contributing in a point of judges?
I entirely agree with
advocates
you.
का sir क्यों नहीं इस पे take है, इस पे case क्यों नहीं जा रहा है कि हाँ appointment of judges बढ़ाया जाए?
No, you're absolutely true. You're absolutely correct. See, what is the budget allocation for establishing a functional judiciary, an efficient judiciary? It is a matter. Now, आप बोल रहे judicial overreach. इधर litigation है Supreme Court में.
जी.
तो whether judges are adequate, yes. So ये एक serious problem है, and the parliament should be debating on this. Do we need a statute? Do we need a name change? Do we need some luxury transportation system? Or do we need more judges for the people? Better policing. See, these are the issues which have to agitate this country. And these are the issues only the media can bring it out. Because the only way the people can reach to the lawmakers is through the media. And if the media takes it up, I think it will make a substantial difference. Of course, everyone should be talking about it. And we should be serious about these problems. You're absolutely right.
So what are the advocates are doing on this case?
See, there is a lot of litigation which goes on in the Supreme Court exercising on this topic of adequacy of judges, the what do you call, the perks and salaries of judges, because you need a better class of people to take these appointments. So you will have to give them adequate remuneration. So all these are agitated very often under Article 32. That is under the Constitution, if fundamental rights, right to justice is denied, is an infraction of my right to life as well. So under Article 32 जो है, petitions डाली गई है और उधर चर्चा भी होती है, all the states are involved, there is discussion. Unfortunately, I don't see much of that discussion which happens in the courts. वो मीडिया में उसकी कोई चर्चा नहीं हो रही है.
Still फिर मीडिया ट्रायल का प्रेशर कहा जाता है कि मीडिया का प्रेशर है. Sir,
I'll tell you. Yeah, you're right. On media trial, have some opinion on it.
So sir, ये जजमेंट पे भी इससे फर्क पड़ता है क्या? बिकॉज कभी-कभी ऐसा भी देखा है कि जजेस जब वर्डिक्ट देते हैं, वो पब्लिक इंटेंशन को भी देख के देते हैं rather than law. Like for example, राम जन्मभूमि case is one of the very famous case.
See, the pressure of the
Tell me actually,
opinion,
correct, is this a media
the
pressure?
public opinion, which is reflected in the media, frenzy which comes about when, for instance, a heinous crime happens, somebody is arrested, and then there is certainly a pressure of a speedy judicial process and conviction. To say that judges are immune from it is not correct. That the judges should be immune from it is a necessary factum. Whether the person you brought, is he really the person? Has he really committed the crime? It is a question for the judiciary to take on. And there is always a media pressure. There will be always a frenzy in the media that somebody is arrested and then, he should be denied bail, he should be incarcerated. so much of pressure works, if the media tries to work out, reflecting the desire of the population.
Yeah, apart from the criminal cases also.
Yes.
There are the famous cases like which political people
yes,
actually political
politi-
interest is actually involved. In that case,
For instance, on Ram Janmabhoomi, the decision is, I will tell you, if they exercised power under 142 of the Constitution, namely, that in the interest of justice we are doing this. Forget about the claims and counterclaims, etc. In the interest of justice, if we are exercising the power under 142, I am all for it. That this dispute is not resolved on the merits of the matter, but in the interest of the unity and integrity of this country, to put the country at peace. I would be the first one to. But to write this kind of a judgment is certainly is something we disagree on. To award merits on the basis of what I would call not a archaeological assessment. See, archaeology is a very serious subject. If you go to in Kerala, now मैं एक इसका उदाहरण देता हूँ. एक ये हमारे लेजेंड में था कि एक पोर्ट ऑफ म्यूजरिस थी. 300 BC से 1000 BC तक कुछ ट्रेड चला केरला के साथ, यूरोप एंड केरला, पर प्रूफ नहीं था. फाइनली कुछ एक्सकवेशंस, एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट, एक कोडंगलूर में एक जगह है पटनम करके, उधर एक्सकवेशंस हुआ और पॉटरी मिली है यूरोप से, कॉइन्स मिली है यूरोप से सब. और उधर एक छोटी सी एक डॉक्यूमेंट्री है आधे घंटे की. तो उस डॉक्यूमेंट्री में 40-50 वॉल्यूम्स के डॉक्यूमेंटेशन होती है. एक पत्थर मिल गया, एक पॉटरी की पीस मिल गई, कितनी उसकी ऊंचाई है, गहराई है, क्या स्टेट में है, कार्बन डेटिंग होती है. तो एक मल्टीपल प्रोसीडियर्स होती है टू एसेस एन आर्कियोलॉजिकल पोजिशन, assess and decide upon an archaeological. इतना चर्चा, इतना documentation, अभी भी there are historians on this side saying no, this is not the port of Muziris, and there are certain historians who say this is the port of Muziris. Okay. And both have a valid debating issues there, and they have valid points to make from both sides of the coin. It's a complex affair, and इसलिए this matter, as I said, under 142 you decided it. I'm all for it.
So why didn't the media pressure actually worked on the Kolkata rape case? Because the people were actually expecting death penalty.
In my opinion, that was a case. When it comes to rape and murder, I think there has to
from
be
the 2012 Nirbhaya case.
There has to be a death penalty of such a heinous matter, because unless there is something, because I have not read the judgment, I have only seen the newspaper report. There are certain blanks in the prosecution case or something which may cause a person to be not guilty after some time. देखो जैसे अमेरिका में होती है, but in America there is a system कि आज you have a conviction, you are serving a 50-year sentence, then some evidence crops up. There is a mechanism, a judicial mechanism कि वो review करने के लिए. For instance, many cases on DNA review, they find no, it is not matching up, and people are acquitted after 25 years in jail, etc. Which we do not have here. Once the verdict is given, it is once and for all.
अमेरिका जैसे कंट्रीज में और भी बाकी कंट्रीज में कोई भी केस के लिए कोई टाइम ड्यूरेशन सेट होता है कि हाँ इस केस को इतनी जल्दी लॉक कर देना, मतलब क्लोज कर देना. जैसे इंडिया में नहीं है. इंडिया में अगर कोई केस है फंसा हुआ तो वो फंसा ही रह जाता है.
नहीं, सब जगह अमेरिका में भी है प्रोसीडियर कि फैसला होना चाहिए एज एक्सपीडिशियसली एज पॉसिबल. इंडिया में भी कई स्टैट्यूट्स है जहाँ ये फैसला होती है एज एक्सपीडिशियसली एज पॉसिबल. That there should be what you call the matter should be decided in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. सब कुछ स्टैट्यूट्स में लिखा गया है. पर जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ, एक जज की बर्डन यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में और एक जज की बर्डन इधर बहुत फर्क है. बहुत फर्क है, बहुत फर्क है. तो ये इधर का जजेस का बर्डन इज रियली टू मच. लेट मी बी वेरी कैंडिड अबाउट इट. Sometimes you wonder how they are humanly able to deliver so many judgments. how they are able to hear so many cases. और एक और बात है, in American Supreme Court, access to American Supreme Court आम आदमी के लिए नहीं है. It's very difficult.
कैसे matters
वो माने it will be very selective matters which will be heard by the Supreme Court
Like
and entertained.
government matters?
Government matters, even personal liberty matters, पर उनका इंटरफियरेंस का स्कोप बहुत लिमिटेड है. बट हियर जब भी ये मुद्दा उठती है इधर ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल कोर्ट बनना चाहिए, इतने लिटिगेशन नहीं. आई एम फॉर यू नो द प्रेजेंट स्टेट ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट कि सबको सुनाया जाएगा और सबकी जो प्रॉब्लम सुनवाई होगी और सबको एंटरटेन किया जाएगा, नो मैटर व्हाट योर फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन इज, नो मैटर व्हाट योर सोशल स्टेटस इज, नो मैटर व्हाट योर प्रॉब्लम इज, नेचर ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम. फिर भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट एज अ फाइनल कोर्ट वो दे आर अप्लाइंग देयर माइंड टू इट. सो I am for not restricting the access to Supreme Court. I am for the existing wide accessibility of general population to the Supreme Court of India, which is one of the unique courts in this world where ordinary people can access it. I know it is not easy for ordinary people because of the financial constraint, but certainly उनको access है और बहुत सारे access कर भी रहे.
But sir, in India, government is the biggest litigant, and there is like more than I think government के ही बहुत ही frivolous cases सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक जाते हैं. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट वैसे केसेस को एंटरटेन तो करता है ना.
गवर्नमेंट देखो एक it is a kind of a conundrum. A bureaucrat उनके खिलाफ एक जजमेंट आ गई, लेट्स से लैंड एक्विजिशन में, फिर हाई कोर्ट में चैलेंज हुआ, फिर हाई कोर्ट ने वर्डिक्ट दिया सरकार के खिलाफ. अगर वो ब्यूरोक्रेट उनके नौकरी खतरे में है या उनको कुछ इन्वेस्टिगेटिव मैकेनिज्म में फंसाया जा सकता है कि आपने इसका क्यों अपील नहीं किया, सो उनका टेंडेंसी होगा कि हाँ हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जाते हैं, जो फैसला सुप्रीम कोर्ट कर लेती है कर ले वो. हाँ, so unless you protect that bureaucrat for a decision bona fide made by him, that danger is there to that bureaucrat who has to take that decision. तो अगर मैं एक ब्यूरोक्रेट हूँ और मेरे सामने ये आ गया फैसला है गवर्नमेंट के खिलाफ, अगर मैं बोलूँ देखो ये फैसला तो सही है, हाँ, एंड उसके ऊपर कुछ सीबीआई की इंक्वायरी चलेगी या प्रोसिक्यूशन चलेगा, तो माई टेंडेंसी विल बी नहीं आप सुप्रीम कोर्ट ले जाओ, हाँ, उधर जो भी होता है फिर माई हैंड्स आर टाइट. तो दैट इज द अदर एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम, विच इज वाई probably a significant number of frivolous matters of the government is coming before the Supreme Court.
Okay.
So that is an issue which will have to be again resolved by the government. There has to be some mechanism of probably before you go to the Supreme Court, whether you can have a committee of retired judges, whether this should be sent or not.
I think this step has been taken right now, not from the Supreme Court, like for the backlog cases.
Yeah. See, backlog cases are huge and many.
Actually,
Intra-government authorities, there is a body to decide whether whether they can resolve it amongst each other, because one government agency is fighting another government agency, one public sector is fighting another department of the government. That there is a mechanism which is working.
So what is the condition of court tribunals these days? Like, are they working in a proper manner or like the same way it's going?
No. There are certain tribunals which are working excellently, certain tribunals which are not working excellently.
Which tribunal? I guess income tax is one of the main like.
I don't go to the income tax tribunal, but see, one of the in my opinion, one of the most significant tribunals with vast powers is the National Company Law Tribunal. And National Company Law Tribunal has the power even to rewrite a contract between two parties. इतना power है उनके पास. और that tribunal there has been a lot of issues as far as lawyers are concerned. Minority shareholders के rights के matters तो decide ही नहीं होते हैं. So बहुत सारे problems हैं उधर. And there is one way out. I mean, it is a personalized opinion, but the point is इसका एक ये है कि instead of keeping retired people there, you can have a judicial careerist. एक वकील चाहता है कि देखो हम वकालत किए 15 साल, I would like to become a judge. But then there has to be a security of tenure. नहीं तो there is a difficulty, and he should be subject to
So
all
many
the
advocates these days don't want to be a judge, like because of the financial things.
financial things. And I know of a judge who left a good practice, became a judge, then his security, the tenure was brought down from 5 to 3. Then today he's got वकालत में वापस आ गए. Then it's not exactly working good for him. तो these that the एक वकील जो है, unless there is a security of tenure, वो छोड़ना भी it's a risky thing for a lawyer.
Okay.
Because once you come back to the practice, you may not have any practice left. So that is the situation, which why maybe tribunals are not attracting the best of lawyers.
Okay. So sir, lastly, I want to ask you, Indian judicial system ही judges को power देता है. So sir, but judges are not answerable to anyone. And don't you think this is somewhere like a misuse of power? Because अगर government कोई policy बनाती, जैसे law minister ने कोई policy बनाई, finance minister ने policy बनाई, they address the nation. 2 to 3 times they can ignore, but somewhere they have to address. तो एक तरीके से डेमोक्रेसी को देखा जाए तो ये जजेस के साथ भी कहीं ना कहीं अप्लाई किया जा सकता है आगे, बिकॉज आजकल सुप्रीम कोर्ट पे भी क्वेश्चंस किए जा रहे हैं बिकॉज ऑफ देयर जजमेंट. समवेयर लाइक the government is under pressure. The Supreme Court is under the pressure of media trial. The Supreme Court is under the pressure of the government. Regarding
no, I understand the point that let us take the judicial appointments. Is the judicial body, which is the collegium, are they answerable to somebody? Why they appointed somebody or they rejected somebody?
Are they answerable to the government only?
No, I would not say they should be accountable to the government, because then it is counterproductive. Because it is supposed to be an independent branch of government, independent of the executive, independent of the legislature. They cannot be made accountable to the legislature or the executive. That's the view I have on this. But how do you make it accountable? Can they submit some reports to the parliament saying this is how we have proceeded with it, and this is our annual report on appointments, on transfers, etc., etc. Whether by filing such reports, as it happens in the United Kingdom, whether there will be greater accountability, it will have to be seen. Ultimately, जैसे अम्बेडकर साहब ने कहे कि संविधान इतना ही होता है जैसे जो वो चला रहे हैं, जो दैट पर्सन जो फंक्शनरी चला रहे हैं, उनकी इंडिपेंडेंस, उनकी इंटेग्रिटी उतना तक ही चल सकता है. यू कैन हैव दैट मच गारंटी ओनली. तो दिस इज वन वे हाउ द यूके जुडिशरी makes themselves accountable. And that report is tabled to the parliament. Now, I will have to study, to be very honest, what happens. Can they castigate the judiciary? Certainly not. Certainly they cannot castigate the judiciary. If you look at the 2005 Constitution Amendment, जो है, जिसमें से वो लॉ मिनिस्टर से हटाया गया है जुडिशियल अपॉइंटमेंट्स कमीशन ऑफ यूके को, उसमें 2 सेक्शंस वो जेएसी का है, उसमें क्लियर कट लिखा गया है कि the fundamental purpose of this is to secure independence of judiciary.
Okay.
The object is to secure its independence. It is not to make them accountable and dependent on the parliament or dependent on the executive. No, it is to secure judicial independence. See, judicial independence has to be secured at all costs.
Okay.
That is it is absolutely necessary, but there has to be a mechanism. आप जो कह रहे हैं सही है. How do we say that you appointed X, Y, Z, you overlooked A, B, C, or you transferred D, E, F. Why? You will have to account and how many women became judges. What is the strength of other communities? The backward communities in the judiciary. All this, there should be a report which should be tabled to the parliament, and the parliament should take steps कि okay, let us take that women representation ज़्यादा चाहिए. Then, for instance, matrimonial matters. It is very important. I have seen that women judges are very important in the matrimonial litigation, because women judges will be more sensitive to the problem of women who are having a difficult time in this country.
But the current situation, sir, the men are actually blaming the women judges
I
regarding
don't-
their judgment because of some of the
No, I don't
that
agree,
happened in
because
the country, like
I
suicide
know
cases.
I've seen there are even bodies saying we are fighting for the rights of man, etc. But I have seen that women are at a receiving end in matrimonial litigation.
Okay.
Whether it is in UK, US, in India. I've seen cases in UK also. I've seen a very eminent person's daughter. She was getting, the man was earning a phenomenal sum as an investment banker, and she was given a pittance. She could not even afford to pay rent in London with that kind of. And I was wondering, this is United Kingdom. क्यों ये हो रहा है? Huh? If there was a woman judge, wouldn't that decision be different? And she had to work extra to pay rent and keep her body and soul together. So ये एक important चीज है. In my opinion, there has to be a great, a tremendous representation of women, in, especially in matrimonial matters.
Especially in judiciary.
Absolutely important, in my opinion. There is, I have no doubts on that issue.
Thank you so much, sir, like for giving us your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me on this show, and thanks to the viewers for having been patient with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.